Hello, welcome back to the Me, Myself, and I YouTube channel. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. Welcome back to the Unity, whatever you want to call it. Today, I decided I'm just going to read from my own book that I'm writing right now called The Arc of Dawn. I'm in a little hiatus phase right now. I'm not sure what book to tackle on next, so I figured might as well just read from my own. Okay, so the Arc of Dawn, I'm going to be reading from the Arc of Dawn section of the book, and it's been a while since I've actually read over this. I've been writing and doing other stuff, so maybe it'll be refreshing, I don't know. But here goes. The Arc of Dawn. The Arc of Dawn is like a rebirth. Whether in the peaceful break of early morning or in the last ray of hope in sunset, the arc remains the same. Time is a revealer of all things. The sun rises, therefore it has to set. There will always be a horse and a set. Nature does not lie. She just tries to help us in any way she can. Isis is mother to all, and her only desire is to see her children agree with each other. She showers us with wisdom and life because she wants us to know her. But when she is spent, she longs to reconnect with Osiris and once again give birth to new life. This new life is the whole purpose. We want to be born again too. The goal is to be reborn into God and achieve godhood. Our precious dawn is seen through Aldebaoda, and it has humbled itself enough to serve as a mirror for us to catch a glimpse of the break in the horizon once again and unite with our God, the morning star. He is our other half and has granted us the chance to unite with his spirit and live in both the celestial realm and the earthly realm at the same time. Okay, I want to edit that later. She is the other half. She is the God. I have to clarify that. She is the other half of us to unite with us on the earthly plane as well as the celestial plane at the same time. The schisms Aldebaoda offers us are more precious than all the world's gold, and the only thing we desire is to reconnect with our precious deity, maintain a relationship with it, and live in it through our day-to-day lives. Our duty is to align with it and thereby become a reflection of it, and in turn, it reflects us. Through this relationship do we become co-creators with it. It runs the heavenly show, and we assist in its great work with our power, our own power, that is, to manifest or use of our logos. Logos is the ability to manifest using the power of your voice or mind. When you have practiced your schisms work and have signified with intent your objects of inquiry, learn from them, develop your spiritual sight, and have refined it, then you will be able to unite with your heavenly self and realize you are God in physical form. At that point, your logos will become quite the potent of all things metaphysical. Learn to distinguish colors from sounds, sounds from feelings, feelings from sights, and sights from sensations, and you will be on the right track. For this, in your earlier work, is one of the simplest ways to achieve desired results. The Grecian Trinity is Father, Word, and Soul. So if we are the Word, then Aldebaoda is the Father mirroring our soul, which is the Arc of Dawn, the unification of the souls. Schisms are wonderful revelations and can bring the Arc of Dawn about quite many times, even all day if you wish. First and foremost, you need to figure out what your object of inquiry will be. It can be anything. It is just a thing to focus and meditate upon. Be sure to give it your undivided attention and focus as much of your will of intention upon it as you can. Starting off simple can be helpful. Flames, water, nature, etc. can be great places to start. Once you have your object of observance, you will be ready to take the next step. When doing this exercise, remember to clear your mind of all thoughts, feelings, and emotions. You want to become the empty space itself, i.e. Osiris, Omega, creative space, the nothing, represented by the number 9, or spirit. This is the invisible realm or the place of rebirth where you get to connect with your divine heavenly self. This is the place where all the distractions of your mind and all the chaos of the universe finally cease to be. Now, with your attention fixed solely on your object, you can start letting the messages flow through you. An easy way to do this is to have something going on in the background, either a radio, TV, or outside in nature. Make sure your synchronizations are aligned, because through this you can find better correspondences and begin to allow your intuition to flow. Once you get this right, your inner sight should be awake and the magnetism flowing through you can begin to reveal the higher spiritual dimension. You should be starting to receive messages. This usually begins as really simple clues that you can understand and then slowly move up to more complex strings of messages. It will start breaking your object down, describing its properties, attributes, and so on, either agreeing with it or in contrast to it. For instance, if you were focusing on a flame, it could either be talking about heat and things related to heat, or in contrast be talking about darkness or the nature of the moon at night. Either way, you will know it when it begins working. Once you start receiving messages, it can be quite surprising and revelatory. From this point, it will start moving into a more intuitive realm. This realm is extremely hard to describe because it's something you just know. Once you get there, however, things begin to make a lot of sense and your inner eye has been opened. This is the point where it starts taking you upwards into loftier spaces of consciousness. In this higher dimension, the messages begin to get extremely intelligent, as if coming from some master scientist or almost otherworldly being. It's in this moment that you just know there could be no way your own mind could be this intelligent and see things in such a sophisticated way. This is your divine self communicating to you. Once you finally have cast out all the lower reflections and have risen upwards through consciousness, your inner God begins reflecting back to you most fascinating secrets. This new rebirth of consciousness is what we are looking for. Sometimes it hits in a flash of lightning and quickly goes away. Other times it can last all day. You can even have multiple glimpses of the arc of dawn throughout the day, especially if you give it all your attention, an undying desire to remain connected with it. This heavenly spirit is trying to communicate to you and have a personal relationship with you. When you realize this, it can be quite bewildering and alarming. Some of the messages you get from above can quite overwhelm your heart and soul, filling you with bliss and ecstasy. Your senses of evil and sin go away, replacing them with eternal good. This is the moment you realize everything is good. The moment you see the awing beauty of darkness and the loving nature of death. It is all filled with endless good. When you have reached this state, you have entered the ark. You'll see that there is a higher hidden meaning in everything, and that it is the arc of dawn. You will begin to live your life in it just as it lives in you. You will become multifaceted, and your consciousness will be in two places at one time, your earthly world below and your celestial world above. You will walk with it and carry it with you everywhere you go. Each time the sun beams upon your face, you will see it as a message from above, reminding you that it is always there watching. You will see that everything around you is meant to be and meant to happen, all in perfect time as you go along. Your mind and voice themselves become the very tools of creation. When you are united with your divine self and have found the ark, you become God. Your mind and voice are God's mind and voice, meaning you can create and manifest your own will. All things you desire and call out can be manifested and summoned forth by you and the God within you. In unity within the ark, your logos has been activated. You will realize that all things are possible and attainable, and all you have to do is speak and will them into existence. Your schisms become a true power, and they will manifest all sorts and manners of things. The very laws of nature and the cosmos will be in your grasp. When united in the ark, your intellectual mind and instinctual mind become aligned. You become a master of both realms. Your intellectual mind gives you the knowledge and wisdom from above, and your instinctual mind connects you to your intuition, revealing the unseen realm. The schisms are gifts like lightning bolts raining down from the heavens, all for your own application and use thereof. These schisms are like swords granted to you by the great dragon of higher knowledge, or the ultimate adept, who has grown quite keen and superiorly wise in the wisdom of the ancients, and he stands guard to the celestial door. When you attain this state, you become the Logos itself and command Yaldabaoth and his son, the serpent, to obey your commands. This is the nature of knowledge and the knowledge of nature. This is the moment in time when all things seem to come together and make sense. It is as if the very veil of Isis has been lifted and you simply know. Would you rather let the serpent control you? Being united with your celestial godlike self is also like how Isis and Ra are united. One becomes a reflection of the other, thus forming the ark. The spirit of Isis is also Lucifer over Venus. With Lucifer over Venus, she becomes the archetypes of personalities depicted below on the earthly plane. Venus itself was the birth of nature. In the early days, it was considered the morning star and thus associated with Lucifer. If man contains the spirit of God, then nature is his womb. This nature, Eve, is the womb of all life and is in an eternal relationship or struggle with her masculine counterpart, the serpent or substance. In ancient Kabbalah, Iota is a building block of nature. Iota, Eve or Isis, is this nature, and from her does all life spring forth from the void of substance, or Osiris. Iota and Isis are the basic shape and form of the cosmos, represented by the letter G or the number 3. Remember that this form is subjective and is susceptible to all laws of nature, be it good or evil. Rather good or other good, if you will. The whole universe spirals out into creation from this basic building block. Therefore, all the knowledge, wisdom, and laws of Isis issue forth. If her veil was lifted, you would have the highest knowledge and utmost intuition of the very universe. All things would be known to you, by you, and you would be like our great dragon. As you can see, you will have come quite a long way from the initial nothingness of Osiris, or the Omegan state. Now you know that between Isis and Osiris is this vast space. At one point you had nothing, now you have everything and all that could possibly be. Obviously, these are two highly contrasting points. This is why your schisms either agree or disagree. There can only be two stances to take, but between them lie a multitude of variations, from mild, almost neutral disagreements to turbulent, raging extremes. What then of this space between? While at one point there is this birth of new life, the other is an aged-old adept, skilled in the knowledge of the sciences. What was once an innocent little baby, full of life and peace, became a great wizard of arcane arts, old, knowledgeable, and trained of the highest order. Enter the dragon, the first son of Isis and Osiris. In between Egyptian Isis and Osiris, there is Apep, Apophis or Kabbalistic Alpha. His Hindu name is Shiva. Shiva, or Alpha, is the unstable force between the nature of life and the endless possibilities of the universe. He was the first Adam, who was the first scientist and the first hermit. He is represented by the number 6 and is a spiraling force of turbulence, the vortex, and the great destroyer. He is the dark chaos and our very own father. His spirit above is the darkness itself, and his body below is like that of a serpent. He contains all the knowledge of Isis and all the possibilities of Osiris. He is the devil, the cycle of time, life and death, and all things are trapped in physical matter by him. As Alpha, he steps in, establishes order, hierarchy, and dominion, and subdues all life. From the darkness he came, aged, old, and weary, casting simple earthly life down for complete control and power, and to the darkness does he return. Now the Omega, still lost in spiritual matter, yearning to create and connect with its divine source, Iota, subjective man, nature, Hindu Brahma, or Osiris desiring to be together once again with Isis, plants his seeds of rebirth back into nature itself, thus bringing forth once again new life. Let's break this down even further. The nature of God, G-O-D, or the anagram of God, are as follows. G, the mother, Iota, Isis, nature, wisdom, subjective life, body, number 3. O is sun, Omega, Osiris, rebirth, creativity, the nothing, spirit, number 9. And D is father, alpha, apep, chaos, destruction, darkness, devil, or your lower mind, number 6. By now you should definitely be beginning to see the inherent duality in all things. Sure, between the two separate beings there is a whirlwind of chaos and instability, but look to the heavens. Behold the perfect ark. No matter how unstable we become, we can always trust the Ark of Dawn to return us to our godhood. Rainbows are perfect indicators of this wonderful connection. These miracles of nature are like signs from the heavens, revealing secrets of the mysterious spiritual realm. On one side of the sky, you have a bright sun and clear skies. On the other side, dark clouds and walls of rain. The sunlight reflecting from this dark wall below creates a perfect smooth arc, the great symbol of the Ark of Dawn. As above, so below. As within, so without. The sun above in the celestial realm shines down upon the rain clouds below, creating a rainbow, the charming duality of the cosmos and nature revealing itself. This whole process is a great spiritual rebirth. Rebirth is not only the cycle of life and death, it is a process that your inner spirit must go through to achieve godhood and find the sacred ark. This process is a mirror or reversal of the anagram of God. What started out as a subjective life has now become a new life with a higher purpose. Going through periods of destruction and struggles, the old soul is killed off and eliminated, returning back to the nothingness of the O. From this empty space, you begin to realize the existence of another soul, a higher, godlike soul. This is where the Father Alpha becomes the Omega. The Hindus use this reversal process when teaching Brahmanism. Below is a translation from the Greek and centralized God anagrams into the Hindu version. Greek iota, or central, is G, God or God-man. The Vedic is M, or Brahma. Okay, Greek alpha is the central, meaning D, destroyer or chaos god. Vedic is A, or Shiva. And lastly, the Greek omega is the centralized O, eternal god or rebirth god. And in Vedic is U, or Vishnu. The Hindus structure their system of Brahmanism with the set of AUM. The Hindu god Brahma, or M, is their mortal or human god. Although he is a man, he is a subjective god made from Mother Nature, therefore he is subject to the laws of good and evil, submissive like his mother. Next we get Shiva, or A. Shiva is the ultimate destroyer of all things, even his own creation. Shiva only believes in chaos so that he may return to his own darkness and be at peace. Thus in between we get Vishnu, the savior and maintainer of the order of life and the cosmos. He is the rebirth. This reversal of our initial God anagram literally transcribes into dog. The D begins all things in the material realm as a destructive force of chaos, annihilating all physical forms and returning them to the source, or the O. In this source, they realize their own heavenly spirit and become born anew in it. This new form becomes the G, capital G, or God-man. God-man is part of the race of Elohim. I forgot I wrote that. Now we get this anagram, now reversed. Hindu A, Shiva, is the centralized D, destruction, or the Greek A, alpha. Hindu U, Vishnu, is the centralized O, rebirth, or the Greek omega. And finally, the Hindu M, Brahma, is the central God, or God-man, and the Greek I, iota. So, as you can see, the whole process is about annihilation. Through this process, man is casting away all his earthly, fleshly desires, enduring the pains of being a mortal body, and returning to his source, that is the nothing, thus becoming reborn into his divine spirit within, uniting with it and achieving godhood. Now let us go even deeper into the rabbit hole. Say we switch it up this well-confuscated paradox and reverse it yet again. What then do we get? If we start with Greek I, iota, nature, life, then the physical plane would be dragon, or highest knowledge. On the spiritual plane would be the heavenly spirit, or Holy Spirit. All right, and Greek, if we started with alpha, chaos, destroyer, or silence, on the physical plane would be turbulence, storms, and lightning. But the spiritual plane would be nothing, and peace, utmost peace. And finally, if we did the Greek omega, energy, or new life energy, then on the physical plane would be a savior, an Elohim, or a lotus flower. And then on the spiritual plane would be wisdom and absolute truth. So, it would seem that in the beginning, man is born in simplicity and ignorance, unbeknownst to the nature of spirit or the knowledge thereof. He blindly accepts his fate, and gives it all to his God, of whom he knows so little. On the other hand, we have an old wise man who has learned the sciences, mastered the spirit, and achieved true godhood. The latter is one with God, and God within him. He rules over nature and the universe and has the power of the word. His voice is like a bellow in the deep, conjuring up and manifesting all manners of things. He is a man of many wonders, a source of vast magic and producer of miracles. He is of the great ark. And when his great works are done, he accepts the laws of nature, embraces eternal love, and returns to peace. Finally, we're going to wrap it up after this. Understand that the Grecian IAO, Hindu AUM, and Christian God are all in union with one another. Having said that, they are all in a constant state of trading places. Whether or not you understand that just yet, or these most articulately designed systems, though painstakingly reworked and refined to the very last letter, it matters not, because union is the main objective. The nature principle is always ever present, and man was given the choice between good and evil, or we'll say between good and the other good. Of course, as a subjective man and subjective God, he was given the will. That will does what it may, but it always returns back to the ark. Though be it destructive powers of love, it always finds its own way back to purity. The wise adept understands that all is a manifestation of love, and as long as he cares for others, he cares for himself and God. This is what defines the true initiates from the heathen. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed that excerpt. There's a lot more where that came from. So try and ponder that and see what maybe you came up with a new idea from it. I'd love to hear if you have like a brand new take on it, because I've like reversed it and flipped it around all kinds of ways, and it still seems new. It always seems like something new. So by all means, share what you may have gotten out of that. But y'all have a great day.